What is up? What is up? What is up, you guys? You already know who it is. It's your boy Jordan, aka Prince. Welcome to That Damn Podcast. Let me just go ahead and get into it because as y'all see, I'm not alone today, right? Right. Look at her over there, sitting cute, period. I got a really
Okay.
good close friend. I'll do it too much. I'll do it too much.
I ain't gonna stop you. Go ahead.
Okay, period, period. Like, let me know. But I got a really good close friend of mine. Her name is Shakai. You guys, she is here today to join my podcast and get into some shit. So go ahead, say what's up to
Okay.
the
Hey
folks.
everybody, how y'all doing? Y'all know I had to jump on. I was like, oh, Jordan over here talking about some stuff. I think I want to touch on this. Let me go ahead and see.
Okay, period. And this is where we're at, y'all. Period. Now, y'all already know what I gotta do. I gotta thank y'all, of course. I always come in and I thank y'all for listening. So thank you so much for listening, supporting me, doing all of that. Keep running that shit up, please. Like, as you see, I'm growing here. I got guests now, honey. So stop playing and stop playing and go ahead and run it up. Like, come on now. But thank you so much, you
Yeah.
guys, for listening. Um, the reason why I have this good friend here with me today is because last week, Monday, we spoke about accountability on my Monday, Motivational Monday podcast video, whatever. And I asked you guys to take that week to kind of realize what you want to start holding yourself accountable for and things that you didn't know you need to hold yourself accountable for, and now you know. So my girl Shakaya, she's gonna go ahead and let us know how she feeling, what she thinking about it, what she want to hold herself accountable for. I'm gonna also give y'all my thought process on it and all of that. So be prepared, be ready. Before we get into that, y'all already know what it is. See a shot, take a shot, and I gotta refill,
Hello.
bitch.
Now we done already had this conversation, baby. I can't do hard liquor, so there you
Period.
go.
But baby got
Cheers.
the wine though. Baby
I
got
got
the
the
wine
wine for you.
though. Okay, so hold on. Let me go to get this shot going. Hold on. All right, bet. Period.
Wind down Wednesday. See a shot,
Oh,
take a shot.
hey, I love
Go.
that. I love that. All right, so we may have to change the name for Wednesdays, y'all. She may have to be the permanent guest on Wednesdays, y'all, because she already coming up with names and shit.
Let's
Period.
go. Let's
Let's
go.
go. But since she said it, wind down Wednesdays, y'all already know 2 more days of this week.
Oh
Ooh,
Lord, yes,
I'm ready. I'm ready. How are you feeling, boo? Like, do you work on the
baby.
weekend?
I'm. I need to go. It needs to go downhill. I'm ready for it to be done. Okay. I'm already planning the rest Thursday and Friday, so this can go fast. Like weekend need to
Okay,
hit. Okay.
okay. Who
I'm
you
trying to.
telling? I'm already planning this weekend and it ain't got here yet.
Don't we always?
Okay.
When Wednesday come, all the plans for the weekend comes. Okay.
All the
Ain't no
plans.
way.
All the plans.
Ain't no
And it
way.
seems like you even get text messages from people like, oh, what you doing this weekend? What you doing on Sunday? What you want to do brunch? Oh, okay, bad. Like,
Definitely, but yeah, you can't be doing the last minute. Where I am now, you can't be doing the last minute. I need you to schedule for me, baby,
okay.
because
And my people know I will flake. Okay. They know I will flake. Don't hit me with no last minute shit. I will
bruh,
flake
I
out
need to plan.
quick.
Okay, I got stuff I gotta do. Accountability. I got stuff I gotta do.
Oh, why is she playing, y'all?
See how we
She's saying that
tying
real
it back
shit.
in?
Okay. Bars, period.
Oh,
Period. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful, prosperous, blessed Wednesday. Go into it positively. Like 2 more days. We got this, y'all. So don't trip. Don't stress about it. Period. Don't stress about it.
Lord.
Just get these 2 days over with and let it go.
Yes, Lord. Go
Let it
ahead, Jordan.
go. Okay, so now let's get into this accountability since she brought it back up. Okay, so
Man, I'm just saying. I'm one
so
of them.
yes, are you ready though? That's the
Go.
question. Are you ready?
What you got? What you got?
Oh wait, did she bring it on notes? Oh, I thought you
I'm
had
just.
notes for me.
I'm trying to make sure I'm accurate. Okay, so
Okay,
accountability. Accountability.
I
So
love that.
you did bring up, or you did talk about accountability and people holding themselves accountable. And as you know, there's always, topics between, people in relationships about accountability, just people, whether they platonic relationships or,
Mhm.
intimate relationships. But um, me personally, I think accountability is one of the things like I stand on firmly. like whether it be myself or whether it be anybody else, because I feel like it's a form of respect. Not only when you are holding yourself, you have to have self-respect, not only when you're holding yourself accountable, but also holding others accountable. And I think it forces growth. So if you sit up there either lying to yourself or lying to other people, there's no way for you to grow, evolve, stand on business or anything like that. So I feel like, and another thing that I kind of strive for as an individual is growth. And anybody around me, I'm hoping that they're the kind of people who strive for growth too, because I can't be around anybody who likes to sit in one spot for too long.
Right.
That's
Right.
no shade to them. But
Do you
I,
think they're comfortable in a sense? Not to cut you off, but do you think they're
everybody
comfortable with?
everybody gets comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's no shade either. Like it's everybody gets in a place to where sometimes you get tired and you just don't want to keep. Every time you have to force yourself out of growth, you have to. There's a new stage. There's a new challenge. There's something you
Mm-hmm.
might be too drained to have to do. But it's important for you to also be able to recharge and take that time to yourself. However it is that you do recharge. I know
Mm-hmm.
your first episodes were like stress relief or the way
Yeah.
that you relieve stress. So that's
Come on,
important.
girl.
I listen. I listen.
Real
Okay.
supporter, okay? Real one right here. Stop playing. That's why she's the first guest. Stop playing.
But stress relief is important. Being able to like wind down or recharge is important for you to continue to go back out and fight the challenges of the world and deal with people on a day-to-day basis, and not only be accountable for yourself, but hold other people accountable too. So I think it's important for you to recharge, to be able to go out there and constantly deal with other people, because it's a lot of people who are not accountable in the world, and having to, I don't even like arguing with people. Like at this point, at this age, if you can't be accountable and I gotta coach you, I work with young kids. Them the only ones I'm willing to teach or coach on being accountable. But if
Okay.
you the same age as
Come
me,
on now.
baby, and you're not trying to grow, you're not trying to learn something, or at least have a decent conversation to where you can see my perspective, and then I'm considering yours, baby, you not grown. And
You're not grown. Right.
and I
You're
don't
not
want
grown.
to. I'm not finna be around you too long. I'm not finna you know keep trying to like fight with you
Mm-hmm.
on something that's beneficial for you. Like
Right.
and if you can't see that benefit, I can get like, if you can acknowledge like the struggle that you having, as far as like, this makes me uncomfortable, or acknowledging your traumas, or acknowledging
Mm-hmm.
your triggers, and being like, I'm not comfortable with this. It's something that I got to work on. Cool. But if you sitting up here arguing me down, talking about that's not my problem, or, deflecting and doing all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got that, babe. That's it.
Okay.
But
That's it. That's
yeah,
it.
I'm not doing it.
Okay, okay. So I totally understand what you're saying. And I think where you're coming from is more of like a relationship aspect when holding yourself accountable. And I want to say just relationship. I think you're speaking of like kind of like relationships and even friendships as well, because you said holding yourself accountable, holding others accountable as well.
Right.
Um, and I totally agree with you, honestly, when it comes to having to teach or coach a person how to speak or have a conversation. It gets draining, it gets tiring. I'm not the best communicator. I'll keep it all the way 100. Like y'all heard in my last video, if it sound like bullshit, it's starting like bullshit. 9 times out of 10 is bullshit. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so I'd be quick to jump and stop all of that. Like I don't want to hear it. Like, but I need not to do that. So I'm not going to say I'm the best with communication, but I am working on that now, as far as just listening to the other person, hearing what they have to say, and then going in with my opinion. But one thing I will say, as far as like what you said, when you said if there's just not making no change or anything like that or whatever, and then you got to go, baby, I feel like, okay, we can have a proper communication, a proper conversation, and all of that, but that don't mean there's going to be change afterwards. You know what I mean? And I'm not here holding myself accountable or looking for people to hold themselves accountable more so in a relationship, but with all aspects. Like, I'm not in a relationship, sorry, just with in a conversation, like your words, I want to see the action as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't think a lot of people understand your action shows differently. When you tell somebody that, your actions show differently than what you're saying. Or
Yeah.
your actions will prove what it is that you really want, opposed to what it is that you're telling me you want. And
Right.
I don't think some people understand that. So,
I don't
yeah.
think so. I don't think it depends on the kind of person that you're dealing with. So I think it's some people who may not understand it and genuinely need to try, like, grow towards it. But there's some people who are manipulative. They understand it, but they not finna do what they
That's what the
finna do what they
gaslighter
want
comes
to
into
do.
play. Yes.
They finna do what they want to do to make you, to manipulate you into whatever situation they want you to be in. And I think that that's what you have to pay attention to. I'm a real observant person. um I pay attention to a lot, and it's not just like you said. I'm not just listening to like the things that you say. Like I'm paying attention to more so the things that you're doing. So people talk all day. Like
And if we have
people
had
run
this
their
conversation
mouth.
more than once, at this point, I can't believe what you're telling me. I just need to see
Exactly.
it. Like,
Exactly.
I need to
And
see
my
it.
cousins, like some of my cousins, like we had this debate once about trust. And they like, okay, so if you meet somebody, when you meet somebody for the first time, like, do you trust them? Do you give them 100% trust? And then as you go through the relationship, whatever they end up doing, like
That's
determines
a good
where your
question.
trust level is with them. No, I'm like a teacher when they start at at 0%.
At
You need
grade
to
school,
earn.
okay?
You need to
Okay,
earn
you
that.
started in kindergarten, baby
You
boy.
don't
Let's
get,
get you
yeah,
back.
yeah. You don't get 100, and with each assignment, then you get docked if
Yes.
you don't do well. You start at 0 and you build up from there. So
Okay, so if you don't mind if I touch base on that real quick, because I feel, not even that I feel, what I will say is because of me being such a caring, loving, open, like that type of person, for I hate to get personal. I hate to get personal. But for example, my relationship or whatever.
mhm.
Now this is a little bit different because we started off as friends. We kind of knew each other since way back then, like when I was in high school. So it's different. But as a
Okay.
relationship, that was brand new. You know what I mean? And mind you, I knew about Cuz past, the little fuck shit he did and all of that. Like, so the relationship as far as that was brand new. But I'm not gonna lie, I went into that relationship fully 100% with trust because, and I think I do that with other relationships too because I feel like I won't trust you unless you giving me a reason not to trust you. You know what I mean? So if I'm gonna
Okay.
come into this relationship or step into this friendship open-minded and open-hearted, then you're gonna have 100% trust from me until you fuck up. Then now, yeah, now we're at a grade level and we're dwindling down. You know, so
Yeah.
that's one thing I would say. So I don't know if that's kind of a bad thing for me, but how do you
I
feel
don't
about
think
that?
I don't think that is bad. I don't think that it's bad or good. It's just preference. So
Okay.
in your case, it's the way that you interact with people that you in relationships with, like that you deal with, whether they're platonic or intimate. Me,
Mhm.
um, I know for as far as like myself, like when I do trust somebody like wholeheartedly, and when I do, like I know in my mind, like I have no doubts that that person is not gonna cross me in no way, shape, or form. You question them about anything in, or doing
Mhm.
anything shady or for in
Mhm.
regards to me, that person ain't gonna tolerate it. When I know, like I can trust a person like that, like there's nothing that I would not do for that person. Like
Right.
you can't tell
Right.
me nothing. Like I'm ready to go behind that person anytime. But I
Anytime.
can't, like, there's been I just feel like it's certain people you can't give that energy to certain people off rip. Everybody, because everybody don't deserve that energy. And
That is
I would rather be cautious and observe whether or not you've earned it than giving it to you, because I get drained like easily.
right.
My social battery gets drained very easily. So if I feel like if I'm doing that or extending that to everybody, it's it's not gonna work out. But
Mm.
who I do like genuinely care for and who I do genuinely trust, and I, like I said, without a shadow of a doubt can trust them. Those people, I put more effort into those people.
Okay.
Like, not to say like it's I don't think I treat anybody badly, but um there's more energy. I'm more of a resource for the people that I completely trust. Like
Right,
I have
right,
no problem extending things for you. I have no problem opening doors for you. I have no problem. Like there's nothing like
right,
that
right.
somebody can try to tell me about you. And it's not a whole lot of people that I have in my life that are like that. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And you
Yeah,
know what? And I feel like we're going a little off topic, but it's okay because I just feel like
we are.
nowadays, okay, but nowadays, it's so many people you can't trust. You know what I mean? There's so many people you
Mhm.
come across, and honey, I'll say it. Yes, we all go through shit in relationships or whatever the case may be, but it's like now I see more so where you're coming from as far as I'd rather you earn it, you know what I mean, opposed
Yes.
to me giving it to you and letting you know you have it. And I think that kind of goes with, people that has walls up and shit like that. Like, granted,
Yeah.
I have walls up, but when I get into a relationship, I'm also about like what happened in the past has happened in the past. You know what I mean? That nigga did this. Girl, where did the fireworks come from?
I don't know. We reached 16 minutes. That's congratulations. That's a one.
Period. Okay? What
Okay.
happened in the past is in the past. Okay. Period. The platform led that one. So that.
Because we're not
But
doing that. Accountability. We coming back. Accountability.
we coming back. But yeah, so I like that, and we're gonna have another episode on that one. Period. So let's get into accountability, okay? So for your first question, then I would say listening to what you said, it's really just about if I got this right, it's what you want to hold yourself accountable for more. And I do kind of remember the last time we discussed too. I
Okay.
remember you telling me just being more direct, or not necessarily more direct, but your communication with folks, because you are very direct and things like that. So
Hmm.
I do remember that. And listening to you today, I'm also picking up that you you're not okay with being comfortable, and you want to hold yourself accountable for not saying that you are comfortable, but you brought that up. So correct me
Hmm.
if I'm wrong. Go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong. Like, let me
So
know.
I did mention in regards to like my communication, I do want to be more
Hmm.
mindful on how direct I am with some people,
Hmm.
simply because it's my personality is a learned personality, and they learn it quick. um,
Is what
in
it
regards to
is.
like how direct I am, because I think we talked about, like you said, we talked about it. I feel like when I'm trying to filter something for somebody, the message don't come across fully.
The message is
So
not clear. Right.
yeah. So, but I feel like, not that I'm being disrespectful or anything when I do come off direct. It's just that I'm not trying to do too much sugarcoating. So I need you
Right.
to understand how serious it is when I am telling you whether something
Okay.
hurt my feelings, or whether I don't like the way you operated, or whether, whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
I am, letting you know that that's not something that I liked. Now, my tone and delivery is usually always passionate. I'm not usually like, I'm not gonna say that I'm yelling,
Okay.
but there's always, levels in my tone in certain
Yeah.
conversations. So there's certain emphasis on certain points that I have. My face, I can't control that. My eyebrows,
It
my
is what it
eyebrows are
is. Let it be.
yeah, bruh. So my eyebrows are usually arching, and people are usually telling me like, "You look like you got a whole attitude." Like, it's not the
A
case.
whole lot to say. A whole lot
It's
to say.
not the
Because that
case.
left eyebrow look like it's arching a little bit now. So I'm trying to I'm trying
When
to
I
figure
look, when I'm passionate about something,
out.
like when I mean what I'm saying, it's gonna
Yes.
come off
That's when
like
the sternness comes. Yes. And the
exactly.
firmness. And I think that's me too. When I'm passionate, they kind of mistake it for, oh, I'm argumentative, or I'm combative, or
Right,
I'm all of that. And it's not that. It's just like you said, there's different emphasis in my tone, especially depending on the conversation and depending
right.
on the situation, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, there's gonna be some starting right here. Now my tone is up here, but we're gonna come back down here, and then I
Yeah.
may come back up here. Like it's just gonna happen. So okay, I
I
get
mean,
that.
after the point is, after you get the point, now I can go back and, now my intentions, if you do feel away, my intentions weren't to make you feel that way, but I did want you to
Mhm.
understand like where I'm coming from, that I am serious about such and such.
Right.
Like I
And
didn't mean
why
to
is
make
it a
you.
problem to show emotion?
some people really don't have accountability in regards to when they're dealing with you. So when you expressing your feelings, like, people don't want to be accountable for the way, like, if they said something hurtful or did something hurtful,
Yes.
they don't want to be accountable for the way that they make you feel. So
Mm-hmm.
when you start talking to them and telling them, like, well, I didn't appreciate what you did in this area or this situation, then they, oh, well, such and such happened, and all these excuses come out. Like, that's not what I said. I just
Okay.
said that when you did, yeah. I just said that when you did this is how it made me feel. But instead of acknowledging the way that you made me feel, and then telling me that, whether that was your intentions or not, and you wanted to move this certain way, you telling me all the reasons on why you did what you did. All right.
Okay, yes, and let's get to that too, because back to communication, baby. Like, hello. I say that same shit all the time now in my relationship. Once again, getting a little personal. Sorry, we're gonna get out of that. But I say the same thing all the time now. If you feel some type of way, communicate that shit. Like, don't sit here and harbor on it, like, or harbor on it, whatever the word I'm looking for. Don't sit here and stick with it, like, oh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Or even come up with these different scenarios in your head, or don't even start moving fucking differently if you have not communicated that shit. And that is one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, I'm very I can't say that word right now. Not even gonna try.
Communicative.
That's why I got you. But yes, I'm very communicative. I'm very, like, as they say, combative or confrontational. But I just feel like I'm going to address whenever there's an issue. I'm not going to let it sit, ponder. I'm not gonna let it just chill. No, I'm gonna address it. I'm gonna figure out what is going on. And if I come to you with, okay, so I'm noticing this, that, and the third, woo, 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 but then you come back to me like, oh, well, you remember when whoopty woo woo whoop and blah 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 blah. Well, that's why I did blah 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 blah. And this is why we're having this conversation now, because you couldn't communicate that shit. Like, hello, like, you couldn't communicate that
This
shit.
is
So
why we
we
are
had
right
all
now.
those series. Okay, this is why we're at where we're at now. So I definitely feel you on that, and I would just have to add to it by, like, communicate that shit as soon as you're feeling some type of way. I think it's important to communicate with your partners and let them know how you're feeling. If you cannot communicate with your partner, baby, that ain't your partner. If you feel like when you communicate, oh, what? You guys understand? Go ahead.
No. So, because I'm holding myself accountable right now. So,
okay.
Now, I did say that I am direct, and I did say that when I do express myself, I am stern. However, I need a minute to process sometimes, especially if my emotions, if I feel myself, like, if I feel myself getting, like, there's an anger or an irritation or whatever, or I know I'm going to say some slick stuff, I
Girl,
won't
say it.
say nothing.
We can cuss on here.
Oh, okay. Slick shit. So,
okay, period.
So if I feel myself, if I know that I'm not gonna give a fuck about my delivery, I won't say nothing until my emotions are calm enough to where I can try at least to talk to you in a calm manner. Because I don't think that
what
I'm trying to be as conscious as possible. I'm starting to understand, or I'm starting to relate more to, being careful with the things that you say, because when you do say something, you can't take it back, regardless if a person is telling you, like, oh, I forgive what you said and all this other stuff. They're still gonna remember that time you said whatever you said. So I try to be mindful in when
Your
I'm being
delivery.
direct with my emotions tied to it, because when my emotions are tied to it,
it's like, fuck it at this point, like,
I'm
if
gonna
my
say,
emotions have to be tied to it, then you shouldn't have got me to this point.
yeah. So I mean, like I said, I do, when I'm having conversations with people, I'm being as authentic as I can. So my emotions are tied to it. It's just not as high as it would be in that moment. So if we having a heated argument, now I recognize myself, because I, like, my family, our communication ain't always the best. Like some people I've recognized like some of their patterns. Some of them are
Mhm.
avoidant. Some of them will deflect. Some of them, just hold grudges, won't say nothing to you, won't say nothing about the situation. But I'm trying to be considerate of other people and understand, their perspective more, and have a conversation and have dialogue,
Right.
versus like shutting down, being avoidant, or acting like nothing ever happened and just going back to,
Mm.
the apology is us just going back. Oh, we talking again. I don't want
Right.
that. I want you to
Right.
be accountable for what you said. I'll be accountable for whatever I said or did in the situation, and we can come to a mutual understanding, and our relationship can grow from there. Now, not to do that again, and I know, not to address this situation this way again. But if we
Hmm.
don't have that conversation, then we stuck in a cycle of repeatedly doing the same things to each other. I don't want that.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what it is. By not communicating, you do eventually get stuck in a cycle because
Mm-hmm.
you're not resolving anything. You know what I mean? And of course, if every time you try to bring up the conversation, if it just ends
Yeah.
up going haywire and y'all both screaming at the top of y'all lungs, okay, let's step back and let's come back to the conversation. But it's important to come back to that conversation
Right.
because sweeping it underneath the rug, not explain or addressing it and resolving that problem, it
Mm-hmm.
just leaves the door open for that problem to happen again. And
Right.
that's not cool. And then it's like, I understand what you're saying as far as taking a step back before
Mm-hmm.
actually really going full force in that conversation. I've had to do that before, and I totally agree with you there. But when
Mm-hmm.
I take that step back, I may take that step back for that day,
Right.
maybe even a couple of hours, and then I'm ready to have that
You
conversation
better
with you.
than me.
I'm not waiting a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to have that conversation with you. But I think the reason why is just because 2, 3 weeks, it can be so. I'm an overthinker. We're both overthinkers. So it's like,
I was just
it's
going to
so
say that.
many thoughts can go in our head to
Mm-hmm.
where by the time we do have that conversation the next 3 weeks, oh, baby, I'm on a whole different level now.
I
Like,
done thought about so many different scenarios.
okay, okay, and I want the finishing to every single one right now in this conversation. So
Right.
that's why I think it's important. Like, okay, very much so. It's important to take that step back if you feel like you're going to be disrespectful, if you feel like you're going to say something that you regret, if you feel like you're not going to be able to control your anger. But it's
Mm-hmm.
also very important to make sure you come back to that conversation or that
Right.
situation in a good timely manner. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
shit, even waiting that long, the other person who's at fault or who you're, have this feeling about, they're in a whole different mindset too. They're not knowing what the fuck is going on. They could have probably did it once again, but we still haven't
Right.
communicated. So
Right.
I get what you're
So,
saying.
yeah. I'm not there yet.
Stop playing. Stop
I'm
playing.
being I'm being honest. This is me holding myself accountable. I am not there to
I love
where like
that.
I can do like same day, come back a couple hours. I do need time to decompress, and I do need time to think about different angles, your perspective, and try to be considerate of you, as well as, was I wrong? Like, did I do too much by, either jumping to a conclusion or not hearing them out in such and such way,
Okay.
depending on what the situation is. So
Right.
not 3 weeks, but I might need, like, if it's
Stupid. Not
Wednesday,
3 weeks, but
yeah,
maybe you
not
got a
three
week
weeks,
or
but if
two.
it's like Wednesday, give me to like Saturday, Sunday, and we can have a nice little dinner or something, or, a
So,
chill little time to
but
take some
during that
time out.
time, how was your attitude? How was your all of that? You know what I mean? And it can go different ways. Like y'all can be living together or y'all cannot be living together. If y'all
Yeah.
living together, it's a little bit more difficult. But if y'all
Uh-huh.
not, it's a little bit more easy to kind of just, all right,
Yeah.
I'll think about it. So how are you acting in between?
So if we are not living together, it is more manageable. It's more digestible because you're not in my face, and you're not
Right.
doing. Yeah, like you can't do like little small stuff to irritate me, or the
To
little
irritate me
things
on
like
top of what you did. All right.
exactly. Because now this ain't now. We really this conversation really finna be something different. But
I'm telling you.
living together, Um, yeah, you gonna need to. I'm probably gonna try to minimize how often I'm coming in contact with you. Like I can say, as in regards to like handling responsibilities, if we gotta
Mm-hmm.
discuss like bills, business stuff like that, cool.
Mm-hmm.
But in regards to, I just feel like being playful and doing all that other stuff, knowing we got shit on the table, no, not right now. Not
No, okay.
not until
Not at
we've
all.
had that
Not happening.
conversation. Yeah,
Okay.
like I can make sure, okay, you need me to pick up, something from the grocery store or whatever, I'm out, yada yada yada. That part.
So more of
But
passive conversation opposed to actual conversation.
yeah, it's for me to get
Yeah.
all the yeah,
You don't even
for
want
me to
that.
get all the way comfortable, all the way back comfortable with you, we need to address that concern first. Like
Yeah.
fully address that
Yeah.
concern. So I can communicate with you, just not in that genuine, like open hearted way, because we got stuff on the table. So until we like resolve that, my like I said, my face expression as well as my body language, I cannot
It's gonna show.
hide. Yeah, I cannot hide the way that I'm feeling about somebody. Like it's really just gonna be, you're gonna know.
Right, right. And that's how I am too. I feel like I very much so wear my emotions and all of that on my shoulders. Like you would know if I got an attitude, you'll know if I'm feeling some type of way, you'll know if I'm sad, you'll know if I'm hurt, you'll know all of that. And I'll let it be known. Like without a care in the world. Um, the only thing is, okay, so for my situation, I do live with my partner, and I've always, not always been told, I won't say that, but you see like little different inspirational quotes, different little things like that regarding relationships or advice quotes and shit like that.
Memes
And
and
they,
shit.
yes, all right. And they always say it's important not to go to bed mad at your significant other.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I think that's where that confrontation comes into play with me, or addressing the situation, and whether it's that day or even the next day, because I I don't know how to explain. I guess I'm just very sensitive and emotional when it comes to shit. But even
Right.
going to bed and we have an attitude, I would feel some type of way. And if I feel like they don't feel some type of way, oh, I'm even more irritated, because it's like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? So I think, I
Why
don't
this
know.
ain't bothering you like it's bothering me? You got me stuck.
You got me fucked up. At this point, you got me fucked up. So I do
Yeah.
get what you're saying, as far as just taking that time out to get your thoughts together, real shit, and that's really what it is. Get your thoughts. La, 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 la. Get your thoughts together before you come into that conversation really hot and you fuck up or say some shit that you don't mean.
Right.
And I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm gonna start kind of like taking that into consideration or whatever, even with my whole I don't want to go to bed mad. At the end of the day, sometimes you need that day to kind of just think. So I get what you're saying.
I think it really comes down to just knowing your person. Whether,
Yeah.
regardless of what kind of relationship it is, knowing the person that you are, interacting with, and knowing, their triggers, knowing, their, what they've been through, knowing what works
Mm-hmm.
best for them, like what's happened in the past with you guys and what works best for them. Like they were more receptive when I did this, or
Right.
that one time when we had this confrontation, it worked out when when this happened.
Mm-hmm.
We went to a public setting and talked, or whatever the case may be. But and you learn that over time. But I don't think everybody tries to give like advice. And it's not one size fits all. It really, you really have to learn people. And I think
Yes. Yeah.
it's important for you to be observant, and I think that it's important for you to be considerate. I think that's what a lot of people are lacking right now,
Yes.
consideration. And I think a lot of it stems from everybody trying to put themselves first, which is cool. There is a certain level of self-respect and acknowledgement and all that stuff that you have to have for yourself, but you also have to understand we live in a world with other people. You do not live in the world by yourself. So
You do not.
you walking through here feeling like people owe you stuff. No, no, people don't owe you things.
Right.
There's certain interactions that you should be having with people to where you are setting your boundaries, and making sure that, you're not being disrespected in situations, but you also have to be mindful and making sure you're not disrespecting somebody else. So
Mhm.
I'm that's what I've always worked on boundaries. I'm constantly growing. I think there's always going to be a new level for us to reach at different stages and ages in our life. So boundaries, I'm always being mindful of. Accountability, I'm always being mindful of. And um, communication, I'm constantly being mindful of. I think that's my most um, my most prevalent struggle point is
Communication.
communication. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work on incorporating like consideration um, into that when I'm talking to people, because while also respecting my own boundaries, like it's a process,
I think that it
but
is
it's
a
it's
very
growth.
much so a process, and yes, and
Yeah.
it helps and promotes the growth, but it's so difficult at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And trying to consider other people's feelings when also respecting your own boundaries. That's not an easy task at all. Like that is difficult as fuck. For example, like my boundary could be I'm not letting no motherfucker try to play me. I'm not letting no motherfucker think they finna gaslight me or nothing like that. But trying to respect that boundary, but also be consideration for what that person is saying is like, oh baby, that's hard. Like that's hard. As I said, if it sounds like bullshit, it's walking like bullshit. 9 times out of 10 is bullshit. So I'm ready to cut it out. Like
Uh-huh.
so that's it is very difficult, but I do want to go ahead and join that bandwagon with you, dead ass, and work on my communication. I feel like that is something that should always be worked on. You know what I mean? Like even if you feel like you're the best communicator,
Mm-hmm.
always work on your communication. So I will most definitely have to say the same thing. I'm gonna hold myself accountable more for being a better communicator and not being an asshole. I'm very much so an asshole. I don't give a damn. Like it is what it is. I'm gonna tell you how I feel,
Communication and consideration. There you go.
and that's where the asshole come into play. No consideration at all, like none. So but not realizing, and mind you, I don't give a fuck. Excuse my language, y'all. I don't give a damn how it's making the other person feel or how it's affecting that situation because at the end of the day, I've always been an asshole. This is me. I'm not changing for nobody, and that's how I feel. But
Where do you think that comes from?
honestly, I think it comes from one. It's just me. I've always been. I've always, I've always been an asshole. Like I talk shit, but you know that. But like I talk shit playing around. I giggle. I joke. I do all of that. But when it comes to something more serious, like you, I'm very direct. I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. So if you ask me if the sky is blue, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, bitch, the sky is blue. What the fuck you seeing up there? Like, hello, like, hello, what are we doing here? Like, so
Right.
I'm very much so an asshole when it comes to my delivery, my tone sometimes, and just not having no care about what's gonna come out my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only because once again, I'm not sugarcoating nothing.
Right.
Like you said, I feel like if I dance around this conversation, you're not going to understand, you're not going to receive the message that you need to receive. And
Right.
I don't even want nobody else dance around no conversation with me. So
Right.
reciprocation is what I'm looking for, basically, in a sense, you know?
Uh-huh.
Um, but communicating, being an asshole, I'm going to hold myself accountable for, and I'm going to do better. Hello. I just got to. For my sake, for my relationship, friendships, all of that, I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to do better.
Okay. That's amazing.
I'm,
So
that's
that's
amazing.
amazing. That's amazing. I mean, like
I'm
I
crying.
said, accountability in all areas is something that, I try to consistently work on. So like we both agree on communication being something that's continuously being developed with both of us and both of us. Um, but like I said, communication, consideration, um, and respecting my own boundaries as well as others are the things that I'm trying to make sure that I'm constantly being accountable for when dealing with people, especially since I deal with like young adults. And
Mhm.
our generation, we felt like we weren't being heard when we was raised. It was always, you don't have a say. I paid the bills
Okay.
or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
So you just
And
gotta listen to
honestly,
this.
the times need to go back to that. The way I feel, I feel like a lot
No,
of times now these kids
it's
is just
a.
getting too disrespectful with their parents. Like
I think it's a mix. I think
it
it's.
is.
I think both generations have to make a sacrifice, or
Okay.
every generation, one behind the other, has to come to a middle ground to make a sacrifice. I do think that older generations do need to take the time out to have a conversation with the younger ones.
Yes.
And I do understand that as an adult, I do understand that life is always something happening to where something needs to be done. I don't have the time to, it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to find the time to make sure. But it's important for anybody that you love or you care for or you're trying to consider. It's important that you find the time to have those conversations with them, especially a young person. They don't understand a lot
Yeah.
of life.
Yeah. Right.
So,
Right.
and with so much information that's out in the world today, like, you leaving it up to them to go figure that stuff out on their own. What you want your kid to be swayed by?
Okay.
You,
That
or
is
do you
true.
want them to be swayed by everything that's popping up on the internet? Because it's a lot
Exactly.
that's on the internet. So
Okay.
I
That
just
part.
think it's
Shit.
important
Let alone
for
on the internet, even in their schools.
exactly with the people that they come in contact with on a daily basis. So I think it's important for everybody to find the time to have conversations with the people that they love, and to be considerate and take in consideration their perspective, because I
Oh
mean,
my
you're not
God, you
right.
keep bringing up this considerate word. I guess I gotta be more
I,
considerate.
I think
Like
considerate. I
that.
think consideration is very important. You want people to consider you, like when
Yeah, that's true.
in situations, you want people to be mindful of your feelings when they talking to you, or be mindful of the way that they talking to you. So what
That's
makes you
true.
think you don't have to extend the same courtesy?
Yeah,
Like, that don't make no
reparation,
sense.
all I'm asking for, and I'm not getting it. But you're right. But you're right.
So, and then for the younger people, I think that they do need to be more respectful.
Yeah,
But
girl,
it's
that's a
hard
whole
to.
nother podcast. Cause trust, I got some shit to say about that. That would be a whole nother podcast. We're not even finna get into it because I feel like I would just get into it. So we're not gonna do
And
that.
we gonna run
But yeah.
over.
And we
But
gonna run
yeah,
over. We already running over. So, but it's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
But it's cool. To go to the second question, what is it that you realized you wasn't holding yourself accountable for, and now you are going to?
Ooh.
Yeah, because I switched mine up since the last recording, only because it was just like, actually, no, I need to do that.
Um. Okay, you go first. Cause,
Okay,
let me
okay.
see.
So what I'll say is, y'all, as y'all know, I told y'all before a little bit, I am very revengeful. And that is a bad thing. Now, I don't always look at it as a bad thing because I just feel like, for example, like, oh, how can I use an example? And it's so crazy because I used an example this morning with my grandmother. We was talking on the phone, but this has something to do personal with my family, so I ain't gonna use that example. But
Okay.
it's like, okay, so let's say this. It's the sips of wine for me.
Yeah, I'm
so
listening.
so
Therapy
let's say
session.
this. So let's say you got somebody telling you that you're never gonna make it, you're doing this, that, and the third, you're gonna be this, that, and the third. Now, me being me, oh, I'm going to prove you wrong, baby. I'm going to let you know that's not what it is. And I feel like that's a revengeful act in a sense because I'm gonna show you. Now, my negative revengeful side is, baby, if you think you got one up on me, I'm finna double up. If you think you got me, I'm gonna show you I got ass. Like, you don't got me, baby boy. Like, dead ass. Like,
Oh,
so that is something I really need to work on. Talking to my mom this Sunday, and I
uh-huh.
was just telling my mom this, like, Mom, I'm really trying to get out of that revengeful mind state, like, because I just feel like it's bad. As a kid, okay, I get it. Growing up, okay, I get it. But now I'm 30 years old. I should never feel like I have to get that person back, no matter how wrong they've done me.
Hmm.
And I want to get out of that. So that's what I'm holding myself accountable for is my revengeful, little side of me. Like that's that other
Okay.
Gemini, D'Angelo. Don't fuck with him. He don't even pop up on this podcast. Okay, so don't mess with
Oh,
him.
okay. Okay.
But yes.
Yeah, I was so before I ask, contribute to your response. So based off of what you said, I don't really know if this counts to answer the question, but um a lot of people think that um like I hold grudges. It's been said like many times. But
So
I don't
true.
I feel like people are not necessarily looking or, dissecting that word completely, because when somebody does something to you, and grudges and forgiveness, I feel like they don't dissect those words. So when somebody does something to you, or when something happens or a situation happens, you I you can't expect me to go
Okay.
back and you can't expect me to go back and treat you the same. It goes
Yes.
back to the whole trust thing. So I'm gonna deal with you with a certain level of,
It's like
precaution.
now I know how to treat you. Now I got the silver spoon handed out, like, and I know how far to have it.
Yeah.
Type shit. Yeah.
So that's why I say I don't really know if it's something that I think haven't been accountable for. I think it's just a difference in opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like people, like, it goes back to the trust thing when I said you have to work up to the trust. I'm not going to give
Yeah.
it to you 100%.
Yes.
And then forgiveness is putting you back in that same position, and giving you the same treatment when I gave you the treatment to start with, and look what you did with it.
And you
So
know what? I feel you on that because, baby, you do something wrong to me. I'm very revengeful for one, but I will turn around and start acting different now because you've already showed me once what you can do. Now I'm going to, like you said, I'm going to have that silver spoon handed out, like as far as I can go with you, like as far as I can throw to your ass. That's how long it's gonna
mhm.
be. So I definitely agree to that. And in a sense, I would say it is low key holding a grudge,
Mhm.
only because, and I'm very forgiving. I don't hold grudges and shit like that. But just, I guess hearing you say it kind of, not like that. But when you hear some shit out loud coming from somebody else, you kind of get a different perspective on it. You kind of get a different outlook on it. You're like, damn, I was doing that. Like, really?
That was me.
That was me. But it is a little bit of holding a grudge, and the only reason why I would say that is because, and that's something I need to learn too. Forgive and forget. I don't forget. I never forget. You won't get me to forget. I'll forgive you,
Are you
but baby,
supposed to though?
I'm even more of an asshole because I'll bring it up as a joke. Yeah,
See, no. Then
yeah,
when you do that, I don't think you forgave. When
and
I
you're
when I
absolutely
forgive,
correct.
we don't. If we had a conversation and we have an understanding of where we're supposed to be
Hmm.
now, I'm not gonna bring it up. I'm not, because I'm also the type of person that if we decide, or if I decide that it's a cutoff or we ain't talking to each other, I can definitely act like I don't even know you. I will see you,
Okay.
and you will walk past me on the street, and
Oh,
you would be like,
oh,
this
you
bitch,
like that Kiki Palmer meme? I don't know who
she
this man
not
is. I've
even,
never seen him in life. In my
I don't
life.
know who this man is. I don't know who this man
I've
is.
never seen this man in my life.
Exactly. So
I'm
I'm
dead.
definitely capable of that. Um, but I just feel like, just to go back to what you were saying, as far as like, I don't think that you didn't forgive a person, or I think if you're not being petty and bringing it up, and like consistently when y'all agreed to be friends or agreed to be back in whatever situation y'all was in, if you're not bringing it up, I think that's forgiveness. We ain't talking about that no more. We move past it. I'm not treating you the
Mm.
same. You don't get the same amount of, leeway. You don't get the same amount of, what did I say, resources. I'm not,
Right.
extending myself how I was before, but I'm not throwing it in your face either. We had a conversation. We agreed that we good now. We have an
We good.
understanding.
Yeah. I have
So
a problem.
that's why I feel like it's not a grudge. I feel like as long
Okay.
as like
I get what you're saying.
yeah, I feel like as long as a grudge is me not letting you live shit down. Like,
A grudge is
you,
basically me bringing it up as a joke. So,
yes, yes.
I like that, and I love how you just put that in perspective for me. Okay, and that is something I know for real though. That is, and that's why I'm glad that I'm able to even have this conversation with you. Real shit, like hearing somebody else's perspective on it, and me and you talk. Okay, like hearing your perspective on shit and your thought process, it really helps me. It does. I am taking what you're saying into consideration as far as with my own life and my own relationship. And I do know there's a lot of growth that I need to make. Like, I feel like, baby, nobody's ever done growing. Okay, you're gonna be
Ever,
growing all your life, and you're gonna continue to grow.
ever.
Even when you're stuck in your ways, you're gonna continue to grow. So there's
Hmm.
definitely growth that I need to make. But as of right now, just thinking about my current situation and shit like that, which we've already spoken about. But my current situation and all of that or whatever, this has really low key helped me in a sense because it just got to be that Gemini in me, okay? It got to be that other person in me. It got to be D'Angelo because Jordan, he's very like, he's very like, okay, thoughtful and considerate and all of that, but you can't
The
do
other
me
one.
wrong and think like I don't know. Like I said, I'm very forgiving. There's so many people that I talk to this day that has
Hmm.
done me wrong. You know what I mean? And I still talk to them. All my exes, I'm still cool with. Like they can hit me up and we can have a conversation because I just feel like there's no need to hold on to shit. You know what I mean? There's no
Right.
need to harbor shit. But then thinking about what you just said right now and me being petty and saying it in a jokeful way, thinking it's a
Mm.
joke because I'm laughing about it and real
Like you
shit, I'm
think I
being
forgot,
petty.
but I didn't.
Okay, you think we forgot, but we haven't. You know, but I need to do better with that, and I will agree and say that I have been doing that currently. I
Mm-hmm.
have very much so been doing that currently because it's just like, okay, last time you get a personal, I feel like if I don't expect nothing from you, if I have you here and
Mm-hmm.
your actions prove you're here,
Okay.
I'm so fucking lost and dumbfounded and like so shocked at this is really going on. So yeah, I'm gonna keep bringing it up. Like, what
Damn,
happened
Jordan.
there? Like, what
Damn,
happened?
Jordan.
So that's the bad part of me. But yes, I'm growing, you guys. I'm changing.
Oh yeah, and that's all that I think that's the most important part. As long as you are striving to a solution towards a solution, and you are
Yes.
I think it's you consistently have to have conversations. Um, Not to consistently having conversations to where you doing the same thing that we just talked about this last conversation.
And
Now
that's what
you
I
think
hate.
I'm stupid. Yeah, you
That's
playing
what
in my
I
face.
hate.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
and
different.
that's me. I feel like I don't want to nitpick on shit, but if we have to have the same conversation about shit, and I'm
Hmm.
steady repeating myself, and I'm still here,
Yeah,
hello. So what
yeah, you playing in my face.
the fuck you missing? Like, what is you missing? Like, so
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
You have it just goes back to you have to be observant to the person that you are dealing with. And I think that the important thing that I kind of took away from this conversation is grace.
Yes, yes, I
you
love that.
you I feel like you have a bit more grace than I have, or extending grace than I have, and I'm working on it.
You got it.
But I just feel like I don't have a personality to where things have a gray area. I think it's very black and white. You either is or you ain't. You either doing it or you ain't,
Right,
or you're
right.
not. But I don't have a gray area, and I think that's where my level of grace for people, or the level of grace that I extend to people, diminishes, because I just feel like I said, it's black and white. Especially if I communicated it to you, and we had a conversation about the things that
Mhm.
trigger me, or the things that I'm not comfortable with, and then you do something that
It's
triggers
like a
me.
slap in my face.
Yeah,
It's
like
like you
you
really
can't.
said, "Oh, bitch, I'm gonna show you.
Yeah, like
You
you
ain't gonna
can't
do
tell me.
shit."
oh, it was a mistake. I didn't know. You didn't know what? Like,
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
because
I gotta do the Mr.
I'm
Brown.
one
Thank
for
you.
receipts, baby. I am one for receipts. So 2 weeks ago, or when when we first met, and that second time we went to the bowling alley and we had
Okay.
that conversation, like
Yeah.
I'm
Because
one,
like I said, I don't forget. So I don't forget conversations either. Yeah.
bruh. So I'm one for receipts in regards to like that initial conversation when we trying to come to get the understanding, just so I can clarify for you where is it that you didn't understand. And then if you explain, oh, you wasn't listening. Okay, now I know
If
that I need to be
somebody was to
asking you
tell me,
questions,
oh, I wasn't listening, oh,
or
baby, that's
whatever.
fighting words. That's fighting words for
People gonna
me.
come up. People gonna come up with whatever. Just I forgot. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I didn't really hear you, or I didn't think it was
Or
that serious.
or this is my favorite. I knew that's what you said, but I just don't know what happened. It just
Okay.
happened. Now,
Yeah.
real shit. If we touch base on cheating, I'm gonna keep it real. Sometimes that shit, and only because it's happened to me, it just happened.
What?
Now, granted, I could have stopped it, even with it just happening. I could have stopped it in between and not continued. So
Okay.
yes, I get that. So you know what? Fuck what I just said. I'm not taking it just happened. Like we're not doing that. Period. I had to
Yeah,
think
I
about
think that
say it
that's
out
a
loud.
part. That's for sure a part of accountability when you're dealing with a person. I that At this age, I feel like if we having a conversation about something that you did or I did, and you can't explain to me why you did it, like you're not seeking growth as an individual,
Yes.
because you're not
Yes.
seeking to understand your own actions and the things that you
Yes.
do. And if you can't do that, like how I'm supposed to deal with you? Like
How am I supposed
how
to do?
how can I can't think logically like about you on a day-to-day basis,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, such and such, that's not something that they do, because you don't even know why you do stuff. So that means on any
Exactly.
given day, for any given reason, you can
You can do
decide some,
anything.
yeah, you can decide some bullshit. Like,
And what I say, if it sound like bullshit, it's looking like bullshit.
it
9 times
is.
out of 10, it's some
Mm-hmm.
bullshit. And you're
Exactly.
absolutely correct on that. I
Yeah.
love what you just said.
Yeah. So
And
it's
yeah,
you
no.
it just goes back to you for sure have to observe and watch the people that you are dealing with, whether it's a new relationship. And people grow, like we've been saying, people grow every day. Just because you knew that person from high school, that do not mean that that's the same person you grew up with and you knew, and since day one, yada yada yada. Okay, that person done experienced some stuff they might not have talked to
Mhm,
you about. That person's
mhm.
mindset has changed. They learned some new things. So
But I think that's when communication comes into play.
you
Because at
constantly
the end
have
of
to
the
be
day,
communicating.
I'm not gonna know that.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel some
Yes.
type of way about something that I said in the conversation the other day, but I'm not gonna know that if you don't communicate with me. You know what I mean? Or if you don't
Right.
communicate in general, nobody's gonna fucking know. Ain't nobody mind readers. We all ain't that so Raven. We
Right.
hello.
Right.
We can't see into the futuro. So I'm
Right.
just like, no, communication is everything to me. And I don't care how blunt, how hurtful, how truthful it may be. Communication is everything. Like,
Yeah.
come on now. I think that's the key to everything.
Some people can't take the truth though, and
Yeah, very much so.
ooh, so I think we
You trying to
covered
get
some
into some more
before.
shit? No, we not gonna do that. We not gonna. Okay, so we're at 58 minutes now. Okay,
I was
let's
gonna
go
try to make
ahead
it quick.
and wrap this up before there's any technical difficulties with that. Uh, but there will be another podcast video coming soon with me and y'all favorite Shakaya. Okay, this is your favorite podcaster, Jordan, aka Prince. Thank you for watching That Damn Podcast. Oh my gosh, Shakaya, thank you so much for being here and going through this shit with me again with
No
the technical
problem.
difficulties and all of that. But I really appreciate you. I really love you. You already know that. And
No
we
problem.
will be doing this again, baby.
I love it. I'm glad that you doing this. You have an amazing personality. That was like Jordan got the right personality for a podcast, baby.
Ah, stop
Because
playing.
let me just
Don't
tell you,
gas me up.
he the life of the party. He's for sure gonna ask those questions. Okay, he's gonna make sure that he's not being clear cut and to the point and digging into those topics. So I'm like, Jordan has the right personality. So I definitely think you got potential to go very far, like in this field. That's why I had no problem like jumping on for you. And of course, like these conversations, like I feel like these are conversations people need to have in their homes. Not
Yeah.
that it's podcasts all over talking about it, but I think that's important. They need different
Mm-hmm.
perspectives from different people, and your personality is another one that's an important personality to touch on topics like this. Have
Right.
conversations with your friend groups, and spark that interest for everybody,
Yeah.
the people who under us, the people who in our friend circles, just so that they know, like, I'm open to those conversations. Like, actually, we need to have that conversation. So, um,
Yes, most definitely.
where are you? How are you? Is there any way I can be of service to you? How can I help you? Or
Mm-hmm.
boundaries. Just it's a plethora of different topics that can be touched on. But I think that you're doing a great job, and I'm looking forward to everything.
Hey, thank you. Stop gassing me. Real shit, honestly. Real shit, honestly. What brought me? I've always wanted to be like a public figure in a sense, or a motivator, or an inspirational speaker, primarily with kids, because I also work with kids now as well. So always primarily with kids. I even went to school and got my bachelor's degree in business management to open up my own boys and girls club. So hopefully, I'm praying to God, if it's meant for me. I don't know why I did that. Okay, hold on. Don't cuss me out. But anyways, I'm praying to God, and hopefully that it's meant for me, and that happens later on. But real shit is because another reason why I started this podcast thing is because the personal shit that I'm going through. You know what I mean? The personal shit that I deal with on a regular basis, whether it's just with myself or it's with my relationship, my friends, like all of that, my family, shit that my family goes through. So it's just like, I know we ain't the only motherfuckers going through this shit. So I'm just
Right.
like, I want to hear other people's perspectives on it. And to take using your word, to take people's advice into consideration, and to, come formulate my own, not opinion, but my own decision on what I want to make. Not listening to people in the sense as far as, oh, Shakaya said, go ahead and break up with that nigga, so we're gonna break up that nigga. No, but Shakaya also said that he's showing you this, this, and this. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna take that into consideration, if you can kind of understand what I'm saying. So that was the reason why for me doing this. I know I'm not the only person that go through bullshit, and I want everybody to be able to talk about it. I want everybody to be able to open up about it. I hate holding shit in myself. So, nah. If I'm gonna open up,
Yeah.
y'all gotta open up. Period.
Yeah. And I mean, here's the space to do it. Have those conversations. So people need to. It's normal. It's
Yeah.
everybody. That's what I be trying to tell people. Like, people have the same thought processes, and when I do say stuff, they like, that's crazy, because I was thinking that. And a lot of people just be
Mm-hmm.
feeling like they alone sometimes, and some people don't understand. Like, but you be surprised how many people have the either the same thought process or something similar to what you or have
Yeah.
been experiencing something similar to what you're going through. So
Yeah. And
conversations
it's like, if
are
I can
those
find
things
somebody
that I
with wisdom, okay, period.
right.
Yes.
Right.
Most definitely. Most
Yeah.
definitely. Sorry to cut you off, but most definitely.
No, you good.
No, because I was like, that was my fault. See? Doing better with
No, you
communication.
good.
Okay. But yes, most definitely. I love what you just said there. And yeah, that is my hope for everybody. So you guys continue to watch me, continue to support me, continue to follow, like, subscribe. Y'all know I'm gonna keep saying that shit. I've been waiting to say that. So continue to like, subscribe, and comment, and do all of that. Share, follow, all of that, y'all. I love you guys so much. I am going to go ahead and take another take a shot, because this was a beautiful episode, okay? And I'm
I
praying there's
guess
no
I can sip
difficulties.
again.
Yeah, go ahead and take a sip, because you ain't
Let
take a
me just
sip
go
all.
ahead. I
You
can
ain't take a
finish
sip
this.
all episode.
I ain't finishing this on the camera, but I'm gonna take another sip with you.
Yeah, take a sip. Yeah, you ain't gotta guzzle it down. But girl, my little cocktail's gone. So see a shot, take a shot. I love you guys. Thank you again for listening. Ooh, that Bombay will Bombay in your okay. But thank you so much for listening, you guys. Shakaya, do you have something to say? You want to leave off with the folks? I want to let you do that too.
I think we pretty much touched on everything, but just make sure that you guys are like, accountability is definitely important, especially in today's world. I feel like a lot of people live in delusion. And I think it's
Okay.
important I think it's important in order to combat that you guys are holding your friends accountable, you holding yourself accountable, you constantly doing self check-ins just to make sure you ain't the delusional one.
Okay. Because sometimes I'm the delusional one, y'all. I'll keep it real. I'm that delusional friend. Sometimes like he don't
And
love
then
me
you
no
have
more.
conversations
Jody
with
don't
friends
love
that love
me.
you. Like
Okay,
Jordan,
like
bring it back.
get it together.
But
Okay.
yes, just make sure y'all continue to have those conversations. Tap in with Jordan. Like, make sure y'all contributing and making sure that y'all commenting, DMing him, let him know exactly where y'all thoughts stand on the topics that he's touching on. I think it's important for him to be able to engage with you guys and get you guys' feedback, get you guys' opinion, because he's doing this for you guys to be able to create a space for you and for you guys to be able to get something, new information, new perspectives, um, a new goal for you to work towards. But you guys constantly need to be working towards growth. And I think this is a space for you guys to do that. So tap in with Jordan just to make sure that you guys are holding yourself accountable. You guys are making sure you're working towards growth, whether it be for yourself or for the people around you. If you love people around you, if you want to be healthy, a part of that is a healthy community. So you got to make sure that you lifting them up as well.
Yes. I fucking love her. Y'all see why she's here, right? Y'all see exactly why I choose the right person for the first guest. Hello, like stop playing. Yes, thank you so much again, baby. You have no idea how much this has how appreciative I am just for this. You know what I mean? You already know I love you. But yes, most definitely, this is not your only appearance. So be ready. You will be coming back on, baby. And it will be, honestly, because just this whole conversation, it brought so many ideas to my head. So this is definitely not the only time. And it won't be
Okay.
twice or three times. It will be
Yeah.
more than enough. Okay? Because I feel like this was perfect. This was everything. And I loved everything about it. So thank you again so much.
Now
And
let
y'all
me.
better fucking thank her. Period. All right. All right, though, man.
I
But
love
I
you,
love
boo.
you guys. Thank you, boo. I love you guys. Y'all continue to support. Y'all say bye to my girl Shakaya. Y'all go follow her up. She got it right there. Stop playing. Y'all go hit her shit up and follow her as well, as she will be on that damn podcast. Let's get it together. I was gonna say on this damn
Say it with
podcast,
me. That damn podcast.
that damn podcast. Period. So yes, y'all. Thank you. Deuces. Okay, I'm gonna get off of here.
I'll see y'all later.
All right, bye.